What if your lifelong sense of not quite fitting in wasn't a flaw, but a sign of a rare and extraordinary mind? Carl Jung, the father of analytical psychology, spent his life studying the architecture of the human psyche. He proposed that a small percentage of individuals perceive the world in a way so profoundly layered and intuitive that the majority simply can't follow their mental trail. If you've ever felt like you're speaking a different language, seeing meaning in places others ignore, or sensing truths you can't logically explain, this may not be coincidence. You might be part of that rare 1% of people whose minds operate on a frequency few can comprehend. Let's explore the 8 signs rooted in Jung's theories that suggest your consciousness belongs to this elusive group. 1. You think in patterns others miss. Carl Jung introduced the concept of introverted intuition, a dominant function in rare personality types like INFJs and INTJs. This function allows individuals to perceive the hidden threads weaving together seemingly unrelated events. You don't just remember facts, you intuitively see the why behind them. You sense emotional undertones in a conversation, predict a plot twist in a movie, not from obvious clues, but from a gut understanding of structure, or finish someone's sentence because you've already read the rhythm of their thoughts. This pattern recognition isn't just about intelligence, it's about depth. While most people experience life moment by moment, you see connections across time and meaning. You're interpreting not only what is being said, but why it's being said, what emotional subtext it carries, and how it fits into a broader psychological or symbolic picture. In Jungian terms, this stems from an unconscious connection to universal symbols and archetypes, the collective unconscious. 2. You experience reality in layers. Jung believed that reality isn't a flat experience, it's layered, symbolic, and multidimensional. If you possess a rare mind, you don't just take things at face value. When someone tells you they're fine, you hear the word, but also sense what lies beneath. Their posture, vocal tone, micro-expressions, and even the unconscious story they're trying to suppress. This is what Jung referred to as psychological depth perception. While others process information linearly, you're engaging with a tapestry of meaning. You see the metaphor behind events, the symbolism in a dream, the emotional truth behind a logical argument. But this depth can be isolating. When you try to express these insights, people may dismiss them as overthinking or irrelevant. In reality, they're simply not perceiving the layers you see. 3. You're drawn to the shadow. Jung's concept of the shadow is central to understanding this rare type of mind. While most people shy away from exploring the darker aspects of human nature, you're magnetically drawn to them, not out of morbid curiosity, but from a desire for wholeness. Jung wrote, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." You might find yourself fascinated by morally complex characters in literature, true crime stories, or taboo topics. You're not content with labeling something as bad or evil. You want to know why. What pain drives cruelty? What fear fuels repression? Your desire to integrate the shadow doesn't mean you condone harmful behavior. Rather, it means you recognize that denying darkness leads to repression, and true growth comes only through conscious integration. 4. You feel like you're speaking a different language. If you've ever felt like people misunderstand your ideas, or like you need to water them down just to be heard, Jung would have called that psychological loneliness. Your thoughts may come out as analogies, stories, or layered observations, and often they're met with confusion or indifference. It's not that your ideas are wrong, they're simply dense. They contain emotional texture, symbolic reference, and intuitive logic that others can't process all at once. This is why you may prefer writing to speaking or one-on-one conversations to group discussions. Explaining your perspective often requires too much backstory for people to grasp quickly. Over time, you may have learned to simplify, or to stay silent. But Jung emphasized that this isn't a communication problem, it's a consciousness gap. You're broadcasting in HD while others are tuned to AM. 5. You're uncomfortable with pure logic. At first glance, this may seem counterintuitive. Shouldn't rare minds love logic? Actually, Jung discovered that the most advanced minds aren't dominated by logic. They transcend it. You likely use what he called intuitive logic, a decision-making process that incorporates not only reason but emotion, symbolism, paradox, and a sense of rightness. You might trust your gut, even when the facts don't line up. You might spot a flaw in an argument that seems technically sound, but fails to account for emotional or moral truth. This discomfort with rigid logic isn't irrationality, it's integration. Your mind has synthesized logic and feeling, conscious and unconscious. Most people operate from either reason or intuition. You dance between the two, creating a fuller understanding that others may find chaotic or woo-woo. 6. You see through social masks effortlessly. Jung referred to the mask we show the world as the persona. It's how we navigate social life. But if your mind is rare, you don't just see people's masks. You see the truth beneath them. You recognize when someone's being inauthentic. You sense the fear behind arrogance, the grief behind anger, the tenderness behind aloofness. You're often the person strangers confide in, or the one who spots someone's distress before they say a word. Social settings may exhaust you because you're constantly decoding subtext, filtering performance from authenticity, and managing your own energy in the process. You might even know more about someone's emotional state than they do. This ability, though powerful, can be isolating. You're aware that most interactions are masked performances, and you're one of the few who sees the play for what it is. 7. You experience existential loneliness. Jung called it existential loneliness, a type of solitude that isn't cured by companionship. It arises not from being alone, but from seeing reality in a way no one else does. You may feel like an alien in your own species. You ask questions others avoid. Why are we here? What's the meaning of suffering? How do we live authentically in an absurd world? While most people are focused on careers, trends, or gossip, you're contemplating mortality, consciousness, and cosmic patterns. This isn't depression, it's spiritual maturity. Your consciousness has expanded beyond the ordinary, but with that expansion comes distance. You may find solace more easily in art, books, or nature than in people. This loneliness isn't a flaw, it's a sign you're aligned with deeper truths. Still, it can hurt. That ache is part of the territory of being awake in a sleeping world. 8. You're drawn to transformation. Perhaps the most telling trait of a rare mind is your compulsion to transform, not just improve, but fundamentally evolve. Jung called this process individuation, the journey to become your whole authentic self by integrating all parts of your psyche, light and shadow alike. You don't avoid breakdowns. You walk into them, knowing they precede breakthroughs. You don't resist the unfamiliar. You chase it, knowing discomfort leads to growth. You don't just want change, you require it. This is not a choice, it's a call. You're pulled toward books, people, practices, and experiences that shatter your current self and help rebuild a more integrated one. You're not seeking perfection, you're seeking wholeness. You're not broken, you're just rare. Carl Jung believed that the mind is a universe unto itself, and that a select few are born with a map to its depths. If you resonate with these 8 signs, you're likely among that rare 1%. This means your life won't be easy. You'll often feel misunderstood, alienated, or overwhelmed by the shallowness of modern culture. But it also means you hold a gift, Your unique perception, emotional depth, symbolic awareness, and hunger for meaning are exactly what the world needs more of. In a society addicted to surface and speed, your presence is a reminder of slowness, depth, and truth. You are the bridge between worlds, the translator of the unconscious, the seer of patterns, the bearer of transformation. So the question isn't whether your mind is rare. The real question is, what will you do with this awareness? Will you suppress it to fit in? Or will you honor it, cultivate it, and use it to help others awaken to the deeper currents of life? Because in Jung's words, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are.